Okay, so today we're going to look at perpendicular and parallel lines. Mostly focusing on parallel lines, we just want to quickly talk about perpendicular lines. So perpendicular and parallel lines. So if we have two lines crossing, here we have line AB crossing line CD. These are perpendicular lines. This is like Trethewey and McClure Road when they meet and then when they cross. They cross at 90 degrees. But I only need to mark one angle as 90 degrees. Because of our angle laws, when I mark one angle as 90 degrees, it is indicating that all the angles at that intersection is 90 degrees. So it's indicating that this angle here is 90 degrees, that this angle on the bottom left is 90 degrees, and that this angle over here, the bottom right, is also 90 degrees. But you won't see that marking. You will only see one of them marked as 90 degrees. So keep that in mind. They cross at 90 degrees. Now, math speak, AB is one line, CD is the other line, and to show that they're parallel, we'll use a double L. Okay, and usually it's in italics, so we kind of write it sideways a little bit. Okay, so that is saying that AB is perpendicular to CD. They cross at 90 degrees. The only thing you need to know is that all those angles are 90. That's it. Nothing more. Okay, so that one's pretty straightforward. Any questions? So, parallel lines, though, are quite different. Parallel lines, they're like rail tracks, okay, train tracks. They stay the same distance apart. They never get closer. They never get further away. They're always the exact same distance. So if I'm drawing those ones, I'm going to have two lines that stay the exact same distance apart. To show that they're parallel, we put these markings on them, little arrows. So those lines are then parallel because of the markings. So if I have this labeled A, B, C, and D, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I totally messed this up. Please erase that. Perpendicular lines is an upside down capital T. That needs to be fixed. Oh boy. Okay, that should be an upside down capital T. For parallel lines, we say AB is parallel to CD. Okay, that's the parallel symbol. Okay, so AB is parallel to CD. I'm sorry I got that switched up. Now, what we can do is have a line crossing the railroad tracks. If a line crosses the railroad tracks, we give it a special name. We call it the transversal. Okay. So it's just a line that crosses the railroad tracks. And what we do is we can analyze different parts of the angles where they cross. And we're going to do that in a second. Okay. So when we're doing this, we have three different types of angles. Now what I'm going to do is just draw these separate for a second, so just bear with me. You don't need to write this down. Actually, you know what, I'll just use the this one here. Okay. No, that's not what I need to do. Okay, so what I did is I just traced the transversal. All right, so I just traced the excuse me, the transversal. Now what I want you to do is I want to focus on these angles right here at the dot. So just watch this. If I take these parallel lines and I slide it so that they're on top, the transversals lined up, what do you notice about the angles of the two lines? They're the same. Okay. Not only that, but on top, they're also the same. So if I had my transversal and I mark this with a square and this one with a square, those angles are also the same when we line them up. So we call those square angles corresponding. They're exactly the same. The dots are corresponding with each other. They're exactly the same. The same thing occurs on the other side as well. So over here, if I have an open circle, those two angles must be they are exactly the same because they line up on top of each other. Just like, whoops, these angles would be exactly the same. Okay. So what we have is we have what we call corresponding angles. You can write this down. For corresponding angles, let me trace the dots. Here I've traced the dots. What letter have I created? A letter F. So corresponding angles make the letter F. Now it can be in this direction, it can be in the opposite direction, it can be upside down with the circles, or it can be upside down, sorry, that was upside down and backwards. Or in squares, it's just upside down. Okay. So the letter F is what you're looking for. To help identify it, take your pencil, touch it to the paper, and draw it, please. Trace over the lines to help you see what letter is being formed. Okay. Now, those are corresponding angles. What we also have found is that if we have, let me just separate these apart here. We also know for the second type of rule, sorry, corresponding angles are equal. For the second rule, if we have the dot, the blue dot, plus the green square, what do these two add up to? We looked at that yesterday. What do they add up to? Straight line, an angle, No, not sure, eh? Okay, well, let's look over here. What do those angles add up to when you have a straight line? 180, exactly. So, here we have a dot and a square, but look what we also have up top, a dot and a square. These lines right here must add up to 180 degrees. So if I take it and overlap it, you can see that even though they're separated, they must overlap as well, and so that those two are supplementary. So what we have here is a dot and a square on the inside of the parallel lines, so we call those interior angles. Okay. The worksheet that we got, the textbook that we got the worksheet from, they call them co-interior. Okay. For us, when we're writing our rules, it's okay if you just use INT. For corresponding angles, it's fine if you just write CORR. Okay. Co-interior angles add to 180 degrees. Now, we used to also say on the same side as the transversal. But since the Stone Age, we just write down interior. Okay, and we're fine. So, what type of letter does that make? It makes the letter C. So interior makes the letter C. So there's a square, there's the dot, it makes the letter C. Or if it's flipped upside down, it's the letter U. Okay. Good. And the last one. The last one, number 3. Number 3 is going to be what we call alternate angles. Now, alternate, in the textbook that you're using, I think it might be called alternate interior. That's because it's inside the parallel lines. They use the word interior. Okay. So for us, we'll just abbreviate ALT, alternate. Those ones are actually equal. So if we grab this once again, and I flip it, so it's completely upside down, you'll see the square dot down below is going to line up perfectly with the red X. Because it lines up perfectly, they are the same. So I will unflip it, unrotate it. And so we can say that this green square down below is the same value as the X up top. Makes the letter Z or the letter S. Okay? So those are the Z angles. So we have the F angles, C angles, Z angles. Those ones are also equal. Okay? So the ones that are equal would be the X equals the box, and the open circle equals the closed circle in our diagram. Okay. So, 3 angles that are new: corresponding angles, interior angles, alternate angles. Any questions before we do an example? Alright, let's try an example. Let's draw 2 parallel lines. And we'll draw a transversal. And put the transversal this way this time. We will say that this here is 50 degrees. We'll call this angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So we're going to start by finding angle 1, what it is, and we'll state the rule. So we want to be able to do both. Now we're going to state all the rules, but when you're doing your homework, you only just state one rule. Okay? We know these lines are parallel because I have the parallel line symbol on there. This time I decided to use 2 double arrows. So, how would we find angle 1? It's based off yesterday's work. We can't talk about angle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 because we don't know them. We only know 50 degrees, folks. So how are angle 1 and 50 degrees related? Eden. They add to 180. So we would go 180 minus 50. Angle 1 is 130 degrees. Now I just showed you the work. You really just need to write the answer. The rule, you would say it's supplementary to 50 degrees. So you want to refer to what it's supplementary to. Now let's find angle 2. What does it equal? Well, we can refer to angle 1, and we can also refer to 50 degrees. So we're actually going to have 2 reasons. What's its value? Does anyone know yet? Yep. It is 50 degrees. Why? Well, let's see what letter. What letter is this? F. Which rule makes the letter F? Corresponding. So we can say that angle 2 is corresponding to 50 degrees, which makes them the same. What else can we say? Well, let's look at the other angle we know. It's angle 1. What letter is that? Yeah, it's a C. Which rule then? Interior. So it's interior to angle 1. So angle 1 and angle 2 add up to 180 degrees. Okay. Angle 3. So what can we say about angle 3? What's its value and why? Eden?
It's the same as number 1.
Yeah, it's the same as number 1. Number 1 is 130 degrees. Why are they the same? What's the rule? Trace it with your pencil. What letter? F. Which rule is that? Yeah, corresponding. So people, you can't just sit there and go, oh, I don't get it. You got to trace it with your pencil. Do something. It's not just going to pop into your head. Trace it, find the letter, then tell me what rule it is. So it's corresponding to angle number 1. What else do we know about it? Looking at angle 2, what can you tell me? Don't look at me, look at angle 2. What's the relationship? Kelvin. Not corresponding, supplementary. Okay, so it's supplementary to angle 2. They add up to 180 degrees because they're both on this straight line. Okay, angle 4. So what do we know about angle 4? What's its size? Tyler?
50 degrees.
Good. Give me a reason.
It corresponds
To what?
angle 2.
Nope. Yeah, well, you're talking about 2 is good, but it's not corresponding. Is not the rule. Corresponding makes the letter F. Those two would make the letter V. Opposites. Yeah. So they're opposites. So it's opposite to angle 2. What else do we have? Look at angle 3. Yep. Good. It's supplementary to angle 3. Okay. And that's all we know about 4. Because 4 is exterior of the parallel lines. Okay, so angle 4 and angle 7, they are exterior. And we don't really, the textbook looks at it a little bit, but we don't focus on it too much. Okay, so angle 4 and angle 7, they're exterior on the same side, transversal. Okay. What else do we know about angle 4? That's it. Angle 5. What does it equal? Oops. Eden?
130.
Eden says 130. Is she correct? Yes, she is. Why? So she says it's opposite angle 3. What else? Yep, Arn? Good, well done. It was the first time we've used that. Alternate to angle 1. Good, so they make the letter Z or the letter S. Okay, so there's the letter S right there. Good job. What else? We covered angle 3, covered angle 1. What about angle 4? What can we say? Supplementary to angle 4. What about angle 2? How are they related? It's also supplementary to angle 2. Okay. All right, now we're going to talk about angle 6. I want you to tell me 4 things. 5 things. Go for it. Okay. So what's the value? 50 degrees. What are some reasons? Ryan, you had one.
It's alternate.
Good. Alternate to angle 2. So it's a Z angle. What else you got? Oh. Good. Don't give me a reason. You wrote something down, so give me a reason. No? You just sat there? Christina. Good. So you can say it's opposite to 50 degrees. Next. Sedona.
Corresponding to 4?
Good. Corresponding to 4. They make the letter F. What else? Arn?
Supplementary to number 1.
Good. Well done. Supplementary to angle 1. I think there's only one reason left. Who's got it? Yeah, Amy?
Is it interior to 5?
Yeah, well done. So angle 5 and angle 6 add up to 180 degrees. So interior to angle 5. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to deal angle 7. 3 reasons. Go for it. Sorry, 4 reasons. Okay, who's got some reasons? First of all, the value is 130 degrees. Miranda, why? Give me something.
I don't know.
You gotta have one of the reasons.
I don't know yet.
No? What do angle 7 and angle 6 add up to?
What?
What angle 7 and angle 6, what do they add up to? I'll give you a hint. They make a straight line. Good. What do we call that when we have two angles that add up to 180 degrees?
Interior or C?
Yeah, that's more inside the parallel lines, like 6 and 5. They make the letter C. But this is outside now. This is from yesterday.
Supplementary?
Yeah, supplementary. So it's supplementary to angle 6. Here's another reason. Laura, do you have one?
It's opposite angle 1.
Good. Opposite angle 1. Next. Danica.
Alternate to 3, angle 3.
No, well, see, those are on the outside of the transversals, so we don't really talk about them, although that relationship does exist, but we don't have a specific rule for that one, okay? Ravinder?
Corresponding to 3.
No, it's not corresponding to 3. We won't talk about 3 at all. It's corresponding to something. 4? No, nope, not 4. Corresponding to angle 5. Okay? Corresponding to angle 5. There's one more thing we can say. Back to the beginning. Yep, Kellen? Exactly. So you just use the original angle and say supplementary to 50 degrees. So, sometimes, like angle 6 and 7, you have 4 or 5 reasons. Others, though, you'll have less, especially once you start going. Usually you start with the angle that's given, which in this case was 50 degrees. So we started there, and then we started solving it in order. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7. We didn't go, oh, let's start with angle 8 or angle 4. We didn't do that. We went in order. That's what you want to do, so use a variety of reasons. Don't keep using the same reason over and over again. Okay, try and use a variety so that you learn all the rules as you're solving this. Please write down just real briefly what the rule is. Even if you don't say interior 2 angle 5, but just say interior, that's better than just writing down numbers and not really thinking about it. When you write down a final answer, you should be able to think of at least 2 or 3 rules. Don't just use one rule and leave it. Think about 2 or 3 rules, and then you'll know that you're doing it right. But if you just think of one rule and go on, well, you know what? Maybe you're wrong. Maybe, right? Help yourself learn all these rules by thinking of more than one reason. Sound good? So for your homework, you guys are a bit behind the other class.